My name is Adora from Malaysia. I am a third-year student currently studying at Augsburg University in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I came to the United States in the fall of 2021, not knowing what to expect. Before I left home, all those aunties, uncles, or of the church congregation, the elders, asked me the same question when they heard about that I was going to come here to study abroad. Huh? You go so far to United States to study by yourself? your parents not going with you? You not scared one? That's my accent in Malaysian. And at the time, all I could think about was that I can't wait to study abroad, that I imagined it to be a very exciting next chapter of my life. I thought because of how independent I am growing up, I would have no trouble being here all by my own. I was ready, I was excited, and I had no other thoughts than wanting to be here as soon as I could. Little would I expect that 2 months into my first year, I started to experience the most intense homesickness you could ever imagine. Students being away from home, that's normal. You get homesickness. It's not a big deal, but it stuck with me for a year and a half until I went back home to visit for the first time. Now, here's the catch. You're at home now, but you're feeling like a tourist in your home country? A visitor in your hometown? That feels a little off. But I don't want to just focus on the cons of, being an international student, being away from home, because that's not a lesson I've gotten out of this. Like I've mentioned, we are all part of the IWL International Women Leaders Scholarship Program. And the fact that being selected for this program to further my studies here, is one of the biggest experience and one of the greatest blessings I have received from the Lord, as He closed many, many doors for me to get here. As an elementary education major, I have gained so much different perspectives on not just how I should be teaching in the classroom, but the beauty of what a different culture's education looks like, how powerful education actually is, which isn't talked about enough in my country. How I can learn from that and how I can take it back to my home church, to my beloved community. And if it wasn't for this program, I don't think I would have been in college at all. And I wouldn't have met all these amazing sisters from the program, as well as some people I met here that I hold so dearly close to my heart right now. Until this day, I still tell people that if it wasn't for those two sisters I met at Augsburg, who nurtured me and took care of me, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have that courage to be here or have that strong and close supportive system I have here. Now, talking about in regards to human trafficking, just pausing off what Glory said, that it is a very big deal, and I feel like it's not talked about enough. From what I've heard, that in Malaysia, fortunately, there are not a lot of cases. But in reality, how would you know? How would they be like, oh, we have human trafficking cases in Malaysia? No one does that. And I feel like we need to be more aware of it. And we also have modern slaveries in Malaysia. Young girls coming from neighboring countries such as Philippines, Indonesia, coming to Malaysia, even going to Singapore, just to make that little money, just to send it back home to support their family back home because of their country, because of their economy, because they can't make a living back home. So why don't we talk about that enough? It's so normalized and it's so sad, because those young girls will be with the family until they are a mature older woman, still taking care of the same family for years and years and years, decades. And nobody's giving them a voice. They are undocumented and they don't have a really good healthcare system because of how much they are making. If gracefully enough that the family that they're working with, they treat them better than everyone else, maybe they would get a better support. But isn't that all the cases for us? Is that all the cases for those people who came and work, even voluntarily? Sorry, give me a second. Basel Mission is I believe it was a church or association from Switzerland, and they're the ones who sent out missionaries to China or part of Hong Kong to spread the gospel. That's why now in Malaysia there are so many Chinese people who are believers because of them. And through this relationship in 2001, Basel Mission became Mission 21. They work really closely with the Malay department from our church to talk about human trafficking and bringing awareness on the issue. Mission 21 organized seminars and dialogues in Indonesia and invited our selected pastors to attend. On the other hand, locally in my home country or even in my hometown, the department invited representatives from the Indonesian embassy to talk to church members on this matter. So it can really start from the basic thing, knowledge, so that ignorance, lack of knowledge will not be present because people will be aware of it. And I feel like today, even small impacts like this matter. Your voice matters, and even if you're not directly involved in it, you have a voice to advocate for these people. And yeah, that is what I have for you guys today. Thank you.
And next up, Sata.
Thank you so much. That was really powerful.